after they started. And people going, what? What's going on here? Hi, this is going to be Kevin.
Perfect.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Hi.
Hi.
Captain McGarry, Show from Neil Corporation. Thank you for seeing me today.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Is it okay if I go ahead and take a seat?
Yes, of course.
Like I said, thanks for seeing me. There's my card. If you have any questions after we finish today, feel free to call me or email me at any time.
Perfect. Thank you.
So how's the trip to Orlando been so far, Nikki?
Good so far. Raining a little bit more than I expected.
Yeah.
But at least I'm inside at the conference most of the time, so it's fine.
That's awesome. And is this your first time in Orlando, or have you been before?
No, it's my first time.
Okay, interesting. Well, like I said, I appreciate you seeing me today. Is it okay if I take a couple notes?
Yes,
Is that fine with you today?
definitely.
Okay, awesome. Let me just spread these out really quickly.
Mhm.
And then, I was looking the other day and I saw that, the Malia Videro Resort was just named one of the top 10 resorts in Videro. I mean, how'd you guys do it? That's incredible. Congratulations.
Raphael is great. So he had a lot of influence on that, but it's just a great place to stay. Have you ever been to Cuba?
I'm not.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to going. I mean, the new kind of ruling with President Obama and kind of the renewed interest in Cuba, I think it'll bring me down sooner than later.
Yeah.
So, I know that Raphael set this up for us today, and I know you're super busy at the conference, so I appreciate you carving out time. Do we still have about 15 to 20 minutes today?
Yes.
Okay, great. And kind of just to go over my goals for the day, it's to kind of spend some time and really get to understand, the needs of your business as well as, kind of your personal goals for the next coming year into 5 years, looking forward to the future. And then from there, kind of show you what Salon Biz has to offer, and if both of our needs kind of align and both of our goals align, kind of take the next steps to see how we can work together. Does that sound fair?
Yes.
Awesome. So kind of just going ahead and getting started, how does the decision making process work for you at the resort?
So in regards to the salon, I'm the manager. So ultimately anything day-to-day functions, activities that are going on within the salon, they're my call. For things that we are going to be purchasing, like for instance, if we do decide to go forward with something, a new cloud-based solution for the salon, that would be myself and Raphael.
Okay. And kind of jumping ahead real quick, and I'll come right back to this, but you mentioned the cloud-based solution, and I know that's something that Raphael originally reached out for me about. Is that something that you're interested in as well?
Yes.
Okay, great. We'll definitely touch on that a little bit later, but I just wanted to make sure that we were kind of on the same page there. But you said that you manage the day-to-day operations of the salon.
Correct.
So how has business been recently for the salon?
It's been pretty good. We've been consistently busy. We offer multiple different types of services to our guests, so we see that sometimes guests may come and do a couple at one time. Other times they'll book one and come back. So overall it's been pretty steady.
And it being steady, are you planning on that, kind of steady incline to jump up a little bit now that the U.S. is involved? Okay. And how are you preparing for that?
I think that's kind of why we're meeting.
Okay.
And Raphael had reached out to you.
Awesome. Just wanted to, kind of confirm that with you and make sure that everyone was on the same page. But, talking about that whole, the U.S. and Cuba having that renewed relationship, I'm sure that will kind of influence this next question. But what are some of your biggest goals for the salon moving forward within the next year to 5 years?
I definitely like to see our team expand. And you're talking about just the salon specifically. Yeah. Definitely like to see the team expand. There's some things that we're hoping through the cloud-based solution that we would like to help us out. But just continue maybe see it easier for guests to access and book appointments using smartphones. As you know, right now digitalization is huge going on in the industry. Everyone's using tablets or smartphones. So that would be very important to us because I know that's kind of the future.
Mm-hmm. Great. And that's, I hear that answer from a lot of my clients all the time, and so it's definitely not something you're alone with. What do you see, I guess, standing in your way of achieving those goals, kind of moving that way?
Well, the reason we're talking, we don't currently have a system in place to help us with a lot of these things. And the influx of individuals coming to the resort and us probably continuing to grow, we're going to need better systems in place to help us.
Okay, and that makes sense. So pretty much is what you're looking for in the next few years is you want to, move everything to the cloud that you can, kind of get, and then as well as, growing the team, and then using kind of mobile actions and iPads and smart devices, in essence, for booking. Is that correct? Am I getting that right?
That's the big picture.
Okay. And so if Salon Biz, could help you with all of that, was that something you'd be interested in?
Yes.
Awesome. And currently, how many, and you talked about the expansion of the team, how many stylists do you have right now?
Stylists, we have 4.
Okay, and how many do you have on staff?
Well, there's
How big is your staff total?
6, including me. There's
Okay.
myself, there's an admin, and then the 4 stylists.
Okay. And do you know, I guess, who your top performing employees are? Is there any way that you track
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I have an idea of who's my top
Okay.
individual.
So you have, but no, set records on that. There's no way for you to see, which stylist is bringing in the most money
The
and
most
things
money?
like that.
No.
Okay. And do you think that, I guess, if you knew who that would be, that would help you out so you could, kind of push them to more business since their customers are coming out a little bit happier?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. And that's just, the only reason why I asked that is something that, we'll get to in a little bit, but that's something that Salon Biz can kind of help you track that through various reports that you can custom make.
Okay.
Okay? And, you talked about kind of the ease of access for booking and things like that. And I'm not sure if you would handle this or the admin would handle this, but how, I guess, is, your appointment scheduling and CRM system currently being run?
Basically, we actually use a very basic book that we write everything down, and we have each stylist booked out, time and date, what type of service they're going to be providing.
Okay.
And we use that. So it could be from people calling in, people walking in, scheduling it. But that's one thing, another area that we're looking for help within is that booking feature, as well as no-shows and cancellations. We are looking for something that can help out there. Maybe something that confirms appointments automatically through the smartphone, just to reduce the no-shows. But then also something that has a real-time reporting system
Okay.
to help track upcoming appointments, just to make sure I do have the right staff scheduled to work those days based on the appointment schedule.
Okay. And that makes sense. I mean, so with the book issue that you're talking about, would you say that those are your 2 biggest problems then that you have with it currently would be the no-shows and being able to confirm with them, and then as well as scheduling? Yeah. Okay. And so again, if we could show you how Salon Biz could help you with that, would that something that you'd be interested in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. And I mean, I think that what Raphael and I were talking about with the cloud-based salon management system is where kind of all of this would come into play. And so would you be comfortable, I guess, kind of storing all this information on the cloud?
Yes.
Okay, great. And that's just, the only reason why I asked that is because just kind of moving forward, that'll help me know what solutions we can offer you to better fit your needs.
Right. I mean, no
Okay.
one really understands the cloud.
Exactly. No one does, but it works great. And so coming up, just have a few more questions for you, and then we'll really get into me showing you the benefits of Salon Biz. But I mean, you said that you have an admin, and 4 stylists.
Correct.
So do you ever feel like your time is limited or maybe not being used the best way in the salon?
Yeah, I'm sure there's better uses of my time.
Okay, and why is that? Are you doing any certain tasks that you could maybe not, that are taking up more of your time than you wish?
I mean, sometimes I have to step in and help.
Okay.
If that's my background. I grew up as a stylist, now I happen to be a manager, but if for some reason we're overbooked and we don't have the appropriate staff on hand to do a service, then I need to step in that area. Could be all sorts of different things.
Okay. And how often did you say that happens a week that you have to step in?
It's maybe a couple times a month.
Okay. Okay, so you say 2 to 3 times a month or something
Yeah.
like that? Okay. That's fine. And when I ask you, I guess, if of course your time is valuable. So if you had to place a dollar amount then on how much you would pay yourself, I guess, per hour that you have to, step in and help out where you could be doing other things for the business, what number would that be?
I would say maybe like $20, $25 an hour.
Okay. So, I mean, if you look at it like that, if we're saying 25, that's $75 a month. That's pretty much just coming out of the pocket. And I mean, on a year-long basis, I mean, that doesn't really seem big right away when you hear that number, but on a year, that is, if my calculator will work, that's $900.
Wow.
And so that is, in essence, you are losing out on a lot just because of that inefficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and then coming up on one of my last, big questions, I guess, before we jump into this is, currently, how are you keeping track of your inventory in the salon?
Myself and my admin.
Okay. And do you guys keep a book or?
We use an Excel workbook.
Okay.
To keep track of what we currently have in stock, anything that's running low. We just make a note that we need to order it by a specific date to make sure that we have the appropriate inventory.
Okay, and how much time do you think that takes out of your day?
My day, I'm probably maybe like an hour a day, I'd say max.
Okay.
It's probably more like 3 to 4 hours a week.
Okay. So I mean, again, if we're still giving you that $25 a week or per hour, if we're saying 4 hours a week times 25, and that's $100 a week.
Right.
That you're losing on that. So that's $400 a month.
Wow.
That you're losing just on time that you could have something else that you could be using your time more efficiently.
Okay.
And I mean, again, that number originally doesn't sound crazy, but thinking about it in essence, it kind of adds up. And so, kind of on the inventory track, do you have any way, if a customer comes in, say I come in and I've gotten my haircut multiple times, I always buy the exact same product.
Yep.
Do you have any way of tracking that so you can kind of suggest it to the customer while they're in the chair?
No. It's more of just our stylist knowing the customer, if they're a repeat customer, and always purchase that. But no, we don't have any way of tracking that.
Okay, and I guess what impact do you think that it would have on the salon if you could track that?
I mean, if we could track it, then we would know before the person gets there that we should be offering that to them.
And that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Great. Well, and you said that when it comes to reordering product, you kind of just make a note of it and then you have to go through and manually order it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, is there anything else that you would like to, I guess, discuss today in regards to salon management or how everything's running?
I mean, there's a couple of things, other things that are important to us.
Okay.
So definitely something, as you know, we're not the only salon that Raphael is over.
Mm-hmm.
So something that can be standardized across all of the hotels throughout the association. Also something, obviously, that has a positive return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. And then since we are in Cuba and we are anticipating a lot of Americans coming down and start using our facilities, something that has a bilingual capability.
Okay. So, I mean, if I'm hearing you correctly, your major needs right now then are moving to the cloud.
Yep.
Kind of finding a better way to handle your appointment booking and confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
And then when implementing a product, you're really looking for standardization across the business.
Correct.
A positive ROI, and then something that can be bilingual.
Yes.
Okay. So moving into my presentation here today, I just want to kind of show you some of the things that we had talked about today and how Salon Biz could help you.
Okay.
And so I will give you some slides that you can follow along with or in your review. I know that we're kind of crunched on time, and so just handing this over to you.
Thank you.
So, with Salon Biz, just to kind of give you a little bit of history about us, we are with Neil TSP, that's who we're on with. They've been in the industry for 65 years, and they have 10,000 employees. So although we are a really big company, we're really dedicated to not really viewing you as a client, but viewing you as a partner.
Okay.
I'm here for you whenever you need me as a long-term trusted advisor. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And Salon Biz was actually the first salon and spa management software. So it's the first in the industry, and the scary part about that is that this is a $53 billion industry.
Wow.
And so this is something to really make your job easier as a salon manager. And so this is kind of what our homepage would look like from a computer. Can you see this okay?
Yep.
So this is pretty much cloud-based. You can log in if you're, out of the office one day, you can log in from your home computer just to check to make sure everything's being run appropriately. So that means if you get a cancellation or as a voicemail at 2 in the morning, you can wake up at 6 before you go in and you can say, you know what, I'm going to cancel this one today and just take it out that way.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Is there an app?
There is, and I can kind of show you that really quick.
Okay.
So this is just one of our demo apps, and if it'll let me log in, it's not letting me log in right now because I don't have the Wi-Fi for the hotel. There is an app, and it's pretty simple to use. I wish that I could show you it today, but we will show you a couple screenshots from it.
Okay.
And so you can use it from your own smartphone or from your own tablet at home as well.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that something that you think you find useful?
Yeah.
And so this is how we're talking about appointments. You use a book now. This is something where it'll show you're worried about overbooking. I mean, what happens in the salon if you do overbook?
Either we have to turn customers away, or like I said, I have to step in.
Yeah. And either way, you're losing money in that
Right.
case.
Yes.
And so here it's pretty easy to set up. You said that you wanted pretty easy standardization
Mhm.
across the board. This takes from start to finish 4 hours
Okay.
to implement across your entire salon. We don't want you to be able to wait and have to use it. Oh, we just purchased this, we want to use it in a month. We want to be able to use it right away.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so it's fully functional across all boards. So there you can see what it would look like on your computer. Do you guys have a front desk computer? in the
Yes.
salon? So that's what it would look like there. But also, we've seen a lot of companies that use this effectively give an iPad, or you let the stylist use it on their phones, so they can just pull it up right there and say, oh, who do I have next?
Okay.
And look at it that way. And then this is your directory. So this is kind of where the CRM comes in place. You can look and say, oh, this is Alec Baldwin. He's one of our clients. So you can go in and you can look at Alec Baldwin's thing and see, hey, he's coming in this week, or he hasn't been in 3 months. Maybe we should shoot him an email and send him a coupon, see if he would like that. Does
Okay.
that make sense? And currently, speaking about emails, when you set up this, you have your entire client directory. You can get their emails that way. Do you guys have any current system to send out email marketing?
Not really. I mean, we work with our marketing team, but we don't have anything
Okay.
that's consistent.
Would you find that useful, do you think?
Yeah.
We see a lot of clients that are using this kind of to, send more towards towards the marketing side, and then get those emails back via coupons and things like that.
Okay. It seems a little complicated.
Yep.
So will my employees be able to learn it?
So this is actually one of I've brought a testimonial sheet for you, and I'll
Okay.
give you that. This is just I've been with the business now for 6 months.
Okay.
This is just what some of my clients have said. And so if you can see the last two, Greg Steiger said, Salon Biz was extremely simple for myself and my team to get used to.
Okay.
And that's kind of where that training, and you said that you want something bilingual. We not only offer the app in a bilingual state, but we also offer all of our support in a bilingual state.
Okay.
And so if you are having any trouble, 24/7 support team that you can call on at any time that'll help you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And this runs off the internet, so it's all going to be based on my phone, my tablet. I need an internet connection.
You will, yes. Just to stay up to date via the cloud.
So our internet in Cuba isn't the greatest. It's
Mhm.
spotty at times. So is that going to be a problem?
That shouldn't be a problem because it will be all integrated together. But
Okay.
that's definitely something that I can get with our tech team and make sure that that's happening. I know that we are planning on expanding to Cuba, and so that is a problem across the board. That's definitely something that I think that our tech team can come up with a solution for.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? Great. And so this is what I was talking about the marketing campaign. We can kind of squeeze through that soon. I don't want to waste a ton of your time. But also, when we're talking about the POS system, this is the till that you can use, and it's mobile POS. So what that means is, if I'm sitting in the chair and Sally's cutting my hair, she's like, hey, I know you get this product all the time. Do you want to get this? Let's check out now. That stops your line at the front of the store.
Okay.
So they can just get in and get out, and it makes your store look a lot cleaner. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Great. And this is, we were talking about how you have to spend time every week on stocking and using the Excel sheet. This will keep track of all of your stocks so you don't over order on things, or you're not ordering things that aren't selling. So
Okay.
if
Will it keep track? We work with over 100 vendors. So can it track all that?
it'll track everything for you. So if you have a product that's getting low and it's been selling, you've sold 10 of them in the past week, it's going to order 20 for you next time if that's the way you'd like to set it up, so then you don't run low again.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then again, this is the screenshots, which I wish I would have been able to show you today, but this is how it looks when run through an app. And so you can do mobile booking, you can look at stats on all of your team, which is what we were talking about earlier with the reports.
Okay.
So you can look at how everyone's performing, and from there you can say, hey, this stylist is doing great today, let's give them a couple more people. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And I wish I could have showed you that today, my apologies. And again, this is exactly how it will look from the iPad app.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And last, what credit card company are you using right now?
We are using Bank of America.
Okay. And what are your rates on that? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay. Well, we partnered with Chase, and they've offered us 1.9% rates, which is unheard of, as I'm sure you know.
Okay.
And so this is something that if you wanted to switch to, you could switch to from Bank of America, and your credit rates would go much further down.
Okay.
Okay. And then again, kind of just to finish off here, we're free and easy to set up, which is great for you. It's live and in real time, so if you do get that cancellation, you know right away. And then lastly, we always give you that 24/7 support. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And lastly, the pricing. You said that you only had 6 people on staff, So
Right.
you would really fall into the $99 a month. And when we talk about you potentially losing $700 or $900 a year, you're really only looking at a $300 a year investment. And that's not even including the time that you would be spending with the Excel book.
Okay, wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And again, that's why I gave you all this. I know that Raphael has to kind of be in that decision-making process, but
you keep going.
okay. So after everything that I guess we've talked about today, would you be comfortable, I guess, in having that meeting with Raphael and kind of discussing this further?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. I'm sorry that we went over a little bit. And
Cool.
when would, I guess, be a great time for us to schedule that?
I'm back in Cuba next Tuesday.
Okay.
So if you could follow up with me Tuesday afternoon.
Okay. Would you prefer to do this, I guess, face-to-face again, or would you rather do this as a phone call? I mean, I think it'd be a little bit tough to go down to Cuba, but we could do a screen sharing thing.
Yeah, we can do Skype or
Okay, great.
FaceTime or something.
Well, I'll follow up with you Tuesday afternoon, and I look forward to seeing or hearing from you soon.
All right, thank
All right,
you.
Thank you. Sorry for going over.
No, it's fine.
I literally went to needs